Well today too is the candidate currently in third place by declared backers, the Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss. She scored the support of two big cabinet hitters yesterday, with Jacob Rees-Mogg and Nadine Dorries, both declaring their support for the boosterish free marketeer after a cabinet meeting. Now, Rees-Mogg pitches Liz Truss as a true conservative, someone who has consistently opposed Rishi Sunak's tax hikes. Indeed, Jacob Rees-Mogg went as far as saying that Liz Truss is sort of the only person who can deliver the supply-side reform, who's been backing Jacob Rees-Mogg in cabinet in terms of delivering those benefits of Brexit. And indeed, Jacob Rees-Mogg has been severely taking the fight to Rishi Sunak, saying this morning that he will not serve in a Rishi Sunak cabinet because Rishi Sunak does not believe in the opportunities of Brexit in the same way that Liz Truss does. An interesting argument, given that Liz Truss is someone who in 2016 actually backed Remain, although clearly getting that Brexiteer support has been a big boost to her campaign this time around. Liz Truss is responsible for all of those trade deals that we saw as we were leaving the European Union. Well, one of her big backers is Julian Knight, the chairman of the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee. Welcome to the programme, Julian. First of all, why did you choose Liz out of the broad array of candidates that we see before us?
Well, I worked with Liz in the Treasury, and I saw firsthand the way in which she deals with colleagues, the way in which she has a broad appeal, her grasp of the subject matter, and also, frankly, I think she has real instincts, conservative instincts that are closest to mine as a free marketeer, as a Thatcherite conservative. And I think that basically she sees the challenges that we have as a country, and I believe that she has the answers to many of those challenges. But what's more, I think that she has the right instincts. I think that we need a Conservative Party and a Conservative government which is true to itself and follows through on those policies, rather than frankly trying to, as we have done over many years now, I think maybe we have to cede too much ground to the left.
A lot of people will say that Liz Truss is impeccable on policy and on conviction, but remain to be convinced on gravitas and how she comes across at the dispatch box or indeed in potential debates. How does she answer those criticisms?
Well, I think she's come across very well in the hustings to date, and she tends to be very, very thoughtful. She takes a moment to think about her answers, and she gives very considered answers. I mean, I've seen her firsthand dealing with colleagues in a spending review, and she takes no prisoners. She's a clear supply-side reforming, tax-cutting conservative. And my word, haven't we needed that? We've got the highest tax burden in 70 years. I'm afraid as a Conservative, I'm ashamed of that. And we need to get that down, and we need to return to what I would call true Conservative values.
It's interesting looking at Liz Truss and her platform and indeed her record in government, because she clearly is the more Thatcherite candidate of the top 3 or 4 candidates right now. But her history hasn't always been like that. At university, she was a member of the Liberal Democrats. There's a video going around of Liz Truss encouraging the abolition of the monarchy. Might that come back to bite?
Well, I mean, at university, I was a member of the Trampolining Society, Tom. I don't really think it makes much difference, really, particularly what you were doing 30-odd years ago. I mean, this isn't something I think that really has relevance to right now. Liz Truss is a clear Conservative. She's been a person of conviction since the time she's entered the House. She has constantly argued the case for lower taxes and smaller government in government, and everyone in Westminster knows that. So, you know, she's walked the walk and she's talking the talk. So I think, frankly, something from 30 years ago is really not particularly relevant.
Well, we will look forward with interest to see how this vote goes today. Results expected at 5 p.m, of course. For now, Julian Knight, thank you so much for joining us on the briefing this morning.